Hamilton High School Athletic Hall of Fame. This is the class of 2020. This is the 24th year. Can we give it up for that? Isn't that awesome? We want to appreciate some people. If you have your programs, which you do at your table, please take a look at that first page and you'll see names. We want to thank our committee members. Can we give them an appreciation for all of their commitment to allow tonight to happen? I do realize at this point you may not know who I am. I am Curtis Moak, and I have the privilege and the honor tonight to be your master of ceremonies. If my voice cracks or quits at any point, I'm 41 years old. I'm a grown man. I am not in my second puberty, but I did catch a head cold a couple days ago, so perfect timing for that. So if it cracks or all that, that's what's going on. The Hamilton City School District Athletic Hall of Fame Committee would like to thank the following companies and local people for their generosity. So please take a moment and look at those platinum level supporters, gold, silver, bronze, and friends of our Hall of Fame, okay? Thank you so much. Just so we can get the night rolling and continue, if we could have Jack Young. Jack, if you could come up and do our invocation, could you please give it up for Jack as he makes his way to our staging area at this time?
Let's bow in a word of prayer. Dear God, we come before you thanking you for the many blessings you bestow upon us. We thank you for this country in which we live and the freedoms that we take for granted each day. We'd like to thank the Hamilton school system that prepared these young men and women to go out into the world and be successful. Now, Lord, be with them and all as they give their speeches this evening, and thank you for their families that have come to support them. And Lord, just bless this food to our bodies and us to thy service. For it is in Jesus' name we do pray. Amen.
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. My name is Tyler Ballou, and I am the interim athletic director here at Hamilton High School. And I welcome all of you to tonight's event for the induction of our 24th class of the Hamilton City School District Athletic Hall of Fame. Tonight, I have the privilege of presenting the Coach Bill Sharp Scholarship. And with us tonight are his son and daughter, Jim and Mary Ellen. And they'll be coming up here in a second to present the scholarship. For some of you that may not know who Coach Sharp was, I would like to read a little bio here. I know there are a lot of alumni in the room who do know who Coach Sharp is, but I want to read a little bit about him. So Coach Sharp graduated from The Ohio State University in 1928 and moved to the city of Hamilton in 1930, where he spent over 60 years impacting the lives of thousands of students and athletes in the school district. He was known to everyone simply as Coach. His devotion to sports and fitness was overshadowed only by his desire to help people be successful and realize their full potential. Coach Sharp strongly emphasized a commitment to academic excellence, competing with honor, and displaying good sportsmanship at all times. Although he was small in stature, his actions and positive attitude cast a large shadow as a role model for generations of Hamilton's youth. The gymnasium at Garfield Middle School, which was Garfield High School, is named in his honor, and Coach Sharp was inducted into the Hamilton City Schools Athletic Hall of Fame in 1999. Each year, the Coach Sharp Scholarship is awarded to one senior male student athlete and one senior female student athlete. The recipients are chosen on the following criteria. Students must have earned at least 2 varsity letters during their year. Students must have maintained a minimum GPA of 3.0. They must display outstanding sportsmanship during athletic competitions, and they must display outstanding citizenship through community service. Before I introduce our 2 scholarship winners tonight, why don't you guys go ahead and come up here, and Mr. Sharp, would you like to come up here, and we will introduce them and present them with their check. This year's recipients These are 2019 graduates from Hamilton High School, are Miss Jaden Hendershot and Mr. Francisco Perez. Jaden was a two-sport student athlete for us, participating in girls soccer as well as cheerleading, and she is at Xavier University right now. And Francisco was a two-sport student athlete for us with football as well as track and field, and he is at the University of Cincinnati Blue Ash campus taking courses. Mr. Sharp, would you like to come up? Mary Ellen?
Yes, one more time, let's please give appreciation for this scholarship. Thank you so much. And to the recipients, congratulations. I know every little bit helps in today's education field, so congratulations. Hey, we are ready to get started with bringing in our 2020 class and our Hall of Fame class. You have your programs. We want to make you aware there's been a slight switcheroo. The last individual on your program is actually going to be the first person tonight that we honored. So Richard Stevenson will be our first person, class of 1948. Richard earned varsity letters in baseball and basketball for Hamilton High School. In addition to being a two-sport student athlete, he also earned the title of City of Hamilton Class A handball champion from 1960 until 1964. Following his graduation, Richard attended Miami University to play basketball, where he earned varsity letters in 1949 and 1950. Once Richard's athletic career was over, he began his career in the oil industry with Gulf Oil Corporation, where he worked for 17 years before starting his own business, Stevenson Oil, in 1967. While Richard retired from the oil business in 1992, the company is still in existence today. Richard is passionate about his community, having served as the president of the Taft High School Booster Association and as a board member of countless businesses and community agencies. He married his high school sweetheart, Joanne Dempsey Stevenson, and they were together for 68 years before she passed, unfortunately, in 2017. Together, they have two children, Connie and Tom, and have four grandchildren and four great-grandchildren. Can we please give it up for Richard Stevenson, class of 1948.
Thank you very, very much. This is quite an unusual thing for me, number one, to have an honor that I've been just presented to, but it's something that I've looked forward to for some time. I love to play basketball. Hell, I love to play everything. Much more than going to school. But nevertheless, I want to thank the committee for this Hall of Fame. And it's extremely nice. It's great to see the number of people that are here that have been touched by some sort of athletics. And I think that that's just unreal, and it's a tribute to our city. I think it's been a great job. I got to tell you one quick story. After graduating from Hamilton High in 1948, I went on to go to classes in Miami University. Now, how I got there was I didn't want to I'm sorry I'm going to vacillate a little bit. And so I was looking forward to my high school buddies, and there weren't too many of them out there anymore. But I graduated and got our leather sweaters, so forth and so on. So then I decided to go to Miami University. I wasn't going to go, but I decided to go. And lo and behold, I made their freshman team. And that was quite an accomplishment for me. We played all freshman ball at that particular time. And then I went on to school and earned my varsity letter in my junior year. So it's been a good run. I'm only 90 years of age, or will be here in about another 2 or 3 months, but it's great to be here. I feel very honored, and I thank you all very, very much.
Yes, I think that deserves a round of applause. Amazing. Next up, we have Denis Allen, class of 2009. Denis was a standout football player at Big Blue. On the gridiron, Denis earned all Greater Miami Conference first team 3 times, Southwest Ohio Defensive Player of the Year, and All Ohio first team accolades. Denis racked up 415 career tackles during his high school career. In addition to his accomplishments in football, Denis also participated in wrestling, where he was a state runner-up, as well as a member of the All-Ohio team. He was also a 4-year letter winner in track and field, where he helped the Big Blues 4x4 relay place in the state finals. He continued his athletic talents at Michigan State University, playing football for the Spartans. He earned all Big Ten honors 3 times, was a second-team All-American, a 2-time Big Ten champion, and a Rose Bowl champion. After earning a degree in sociology, Denis spent time in the NFL with the Carolina Panthers, St. Louis Rams, and the Tampa Bay Buccaneers before playing in the Canadian Football League with the Saskatchewan Roughriders and the Winnipeg Blue Bombers. Denis is a proud father of his 3 children, Kira, Kamaya, and Kanan Allen. Again, Denis Allen, class of 2009. Please come up here. It's a little bit of a maze. It's all good. I figured you got the moves. You can make it up here. Come on. Denis, congratulations.
Thank you. First off, I want to thank everybody. I want to thank the Most High, most off. You know, without him, none of this would be possible. You know, I'd like to thank my family for their encouragement throughout my journey. All my friends, my coaches, my teammate, Phillip Manley, who's here tonight. You know, he used to push me back in high school. Well, I used to push him, but we helped each other out, just put it that way. This is a great honor. I mean, all my life, you know, I've tried to work towards something. And for all my work and my accomplishments and everything I've went through, my trials and tribulations, and for it to be honored in this fashion is a blessing, you know, and I'm truly humbled to be up here in front of you all in this committee. Thank you all for having me selected for this amazing honor. As you can tell, I don't do speech as well, so bear with me. Growing up in Hamilton was a challenge, man. You know, we all go through our different journeys in life. We all go through our different issues and our problems. And that's what molded us. And I can honestly say that Hamilton has molded me into the man that I am today, and that I've been throughout my whole journey through college. I always kept Hamilton in my heart, and nothing made me happier than to make my city proud. And yeah, I mean, I'm happy that I can make my city proud, and just it's a lot, man. It's a lot when you go through what you go through in life, and at some points you just feel like you have no more, and then you dig deep, and you realize that what you went through and the tough times you went through is what makes you a man, and it's not for nothing. You don't want your pains to be for nothing. So I carried that in my heart the whole time, and I guess that's why I play so hard at whatever I do. With wrestling, track, football, whatever I did, I kept that passion in my heart, and it drove me to be the young man and the man I am today. And now my new passion is my children. Without them, I don't know what I'd be doing right now. They keep me humbled, they keep me motivated, and they stay on my butt. If I do something wrong, my daughter who's here tonight, Kiara Allen, she's 7 years old, but you would think she's 17 if you ever had a conversation with her. She keeps me in line. I'm currently back at school, finishing up my bachelor's degree, and I talk to her every day, and she asks me, "Did you do your homework? Did you do your readings?" She's on me. So it's great to have people like that in my corner, and people like my coaches, Coach Travis Abrams in here, man. Well, I could tell you all kind of stories about wrestling, but I wasn't a big fan of wrestling. I did it because it was something to do. Like Mr. Stevenson, I like to play everything. So I decided to give wrestling a try, and I hated it. I hated it more than anything. The practices were torture. I just did not want to be there. But Travis would literally come to my house at dark. It's dark. I don't know if it was morning or night, but he would be there, and he would literally force me to get out of bed. He would come bang on my door, and he would force me to come to wrestling because he seen my potential. And it eventually took me a while to realize that, but once I did, it felt great to have someone who cared that much to take the time out of their day to come and push me to be the best me possible. And I appreciate you for that, Travis. And same with my football coaches. Coach Dole, was a great influence on me. And everyone knows Mr. Dole. He's just Hamilton all around. You think of Hamilton, you think of Coach Dole. But I was just blessed to have a bunch of great people in my life. And I wish every one of them could be here tonight to see this, because I would love to have them part of this, because they made me who I am, and they made me into the athlete I was, I'm not an athlete anymore, just a father. But yeah, man, it's a blessing. I want to thank everybody. Thank you all for coming out tonight and supporting. And yeah, go Blue. Big Blue, not Michigan.
You're awesome, man. You're a great speaker. Great job. I think you're an outstanding public speaker. Great job. I think one of the things that moved me most about Denis was he played in some of the largest platforms in his sport. A Rose Bowl champion, Big Ten, playing against some of the best athletes. And within a couple of years of his career, I saw him on the sideline with Hamilton High School coaching already, and it just really moved me. So great heart, great man. Congratulations again to Nikos. Next up, we have Mike Daniels, class of 1967. Mike was an avid gymnast and track and field participant at Garfield. He accumulated 6 varsity letters, 3 in gymnastics and 3 in track and field. When it came to vaulting and mat tumbling, Mike was undefeated for 3 consecutive years. He earned the title of Greater Miami Conference Champion his senior year in vaulting, mat tumbling, floor exercise, and side horse, while being runner-up in the parallel bars, rings, and all-around events. On the track, Mike dominated the sprints, holding Garfield school records in the 50, the 100-yard dash, as well as 180-yard low hurdles. During his senior season, Mike was undefeated in the 100-yard dash on his way to being crowned GMC champion and district runner-up before placing 5th in the Dayton Regionals. Mike continued his academic and athletic career at Central State University. He participated in the National NAIA Olympic Trials and the NCAA National Indoor Meet and the NAIA Midwest District Championships. He won numerous championships and set several school records while at Central State University before he graduated in a degree in industrial arts education. After college, Mike continued his love for running as a master track and field runner, winning several championships in various age ranges. Mike has 2 children, Michael and Aaron. Let's give it up for Mike Daniels, class of 1967. Come on up. Congratulations, Mike. Absolutely.
Can I put this on? See, I lost my strength. Oh, there we go. First of all, I'd like to thank the committee for this honor, being part of the being a member of the Hall of Fame committee. It is an honor and also a blessing. First, I'd like to introduce my family. My 2 sons, Sean and Aaron. One's a photographer, the other one's a DJ in the Cincinnati area. And my sister-in-law, Clarissa. My niece, Kim. This isn't easy, is it? A lot harder than running. Yeah, first thing I'd like to say is, growing up with your friends in the neighborhood and so forth, they are the true ones who let you find out what your gifts are. Now, most of us have, all of us have certain gifts, whether it's spiritual gifts or physical gifts, and it's the people you keep yourself around that helps you identify what those gifts are, whether it's in sports or mental, in reading, arts and crafts. Doesn't matter, they'll help you find out what it is if you don't know it yourself already. I credit my father for helping me find out that I was a runner. We had a company picnic. I think I was about 3 or 4 years old. And normally I don't do any sports or anything. When I was little, I just like to play in the backyard, play with my trucks and my Army men, and never thought about running or anything. But we went to the picnic, and they had the kids line up for this race. And they're telling us, line up, run around this tree. And I just stood there looking at them. I never ran before, never ran the race. And all the kids took off, and I was still standing there. They said, Mike, run, run. And I watched them for a little while. Oh, yeah, okay. So I took off, ran around the tree, got back, and I beat all of them. So, and I got my little truck. So I guess my father found out that's probably one of my gifts as a runner. And I was about 3 or 4 years old. Now when I started school, around the 1st grade, we had a coach or a gym teacher named Bill Sublett. Each year we have had a program called the Spring Review, where all the kids from kindergarten through 6th grade, they just demonstrated in the evening program of the different events that we did in gym class, like square dancing, rope climbing, tumbling, and so forth. And one time during the 1st grade, when all the kids gathered at the end of the school year in the gym, and practicing their different routines that they were supposed to perform at the event, which was a 2-day event. And I was in the 1st grade, and I was just standing around watching everybody perform their different routines. And then all of a sudden somebody said, hey, look, there's Mike. Know the Mikey commercial? Hey, there's Mike. Get Mike. So they wanted me to let this one guy flip me from their hands and do a back flip. Because I was watching them do it. They said, hey, there's Mikey. So I went over there. They convinced me to try it. And I did it, landed on my feet. Most time, most people land on their head or their back or something like that. But I landed on my feet. So they convinced me that maybe I'm a gymnast eventually. Because eventually he was showing me how to do handstands, cartwheels, and other stuff like that. And this was the first grade. And over the years between the first grade to sixth grade, Mr. Sublick inspired us to keep tumbling. And he didn't really show us how to tumble. He allowed us to figure it out on our own. But, and apparently it worked. But anyway, but by the time I got to sixth grade, I was at Roosevelt, and Mr. Sublick went from Harrison to Roosevelt, which is now Riverview. And when he came to Roosevelt, he formed a evening program for kids to just participate in tumbling after school. He had trampoline and the high bar, what's called the horizontal bar, and some other gymnastics apparatus. And again, I just stood around and watched. And pretty soon, someone asked me, hey, Mike, come over here. Try this. So, okay. And try this. Okay. And after busting my head on the ground a few times, trying to do backflips, I started catching on. If you've never seen stars from hitting your head on the ground, believe me, they're real. The ones I had were gold, but those are real. And through the sixth grade, we practiced our routines, and we went on a few gymnastics meets at Harding and Roosevelt, and got good at it. We had two coaches at Harding and Roosevelt, basically Harding. One was named as Don Perry, and the other Don, can't remember his name. But both of them were Hall of Famers, and they taught me some things in sixth grade, like the vaulting. That's where I learned the vaulting at. And during the meet, they taught me how to do a cartwheel vault and some other vaults. But by the time I got to seventh and eighth grade, we had stopped having that program. So through the seventh through the ninth grade, I had no gymnastics experience. So when we got to Garfield, that's when it started up again. And also during grade school, go back a little bit, I had two coaches, played a little pro football for a little while. And I was going down a path near the community center, and they were practicing out in the field, and somebody said, hey, look, there's Mikey. So they called me over, hey, Mike, you want to play football? I thought about it a little bit. So I said, yeah, I'll try it. But then he had to weigh in, see how much you weigh, and I didn't weigh enough. I weighed 65 pounds in seventh grade. So they told me, well, maybe come back next week, eat a little more and come back. So I came back, ate a little more, and I made the weight. And the only time I got to play was to come in and do an in sweep and get a touchdown, didn't take me back out. It didn't teach me any plays. It just put me in at that time. But at least I got to play. Getting back to Roosevelt, I played football in the ninth grade, mostly sat the bench, but at least I got to play the game. And when I got to Garfield, my sophomore year, it was a Coach Sharp story. He has a lot of he did a lot of intramurals at Garfield. One was cross country, and I never ran cross country before. When they made the announcement to come after school for cross country, I said, "Hey, that sounds interesting. Wonder how far we're gonna run." So we reported after school. It was 3 of us, and just telling me where they was gonna run, and go up through the woods over here, go down this street, come back around here, and this is the finish line. We end up at the same spot. So just follow us. So all right. So I followed them. They kept getting further and further away. I said, wait for me. But I kept them in my sight and finished the race. I think it was about 2.5 miles. Never ran that far before because I was a sprinter. But then I found out where cross country was anyway. It's not a short run. But then they made the announcement in school, the winners of the cross country run. And Mike Daniels came in 3rd place. He should have said I came in last, but that wasn't it. When track season came, the track coach at that time was Dick Hadley. And he remembered I ran the mile, or ran the cross-country race. So the first track meet, he tells me I'm going to run the mile. I'm a sprinter. So I spent the last lap trying to keep from getting lapped. But then after that, he didn't put me in that race anymore. But he said, Daniels, we're going to start letting you run the hurdles. So ran hurdles for 3 years. And by the time I got my senior year, I ended up becoming #1 in the school in the hurdles, broke the 100-meter, 180-yard hurdle record, which is stood today since they don't run that anymore. So it's my record permanently. And so that was one highlight in high school, track and field. Gymnastics was another story. Like I mentioned, hadn't tumbled in 3 years. And first week in gymnastics practice, everybody laughed at me because I was explaining to them all the stuff I knew how to do. And if you ever know what long horse vaulting is, it looks like a horse without a head, for those who don't know. And you hit the springboard, and you jump over it, and do a flip. And I had a cartwheel vault that I learned from Don Perry in 6th grade. And I thought I still knew how to do it. But each time I tried, I just kept crashing into the horse. Chest first, didn't even get off the ground. And everybody's laughing at me. I just kept repeating, I can do it, I can do it. Each time, boom, ran right into it. Get on the mat, try to do some tumbling routines. And falling on my head, boom. Every time, by the time the first gymnastics meet came up, it was in Louisville. It was the AAU state championship. And first gymnastics meet. And during the warm-ups, I was still messing up in practice, couldn't do anything. In warm-ups, same thing, messing up, running to the horse, missing the horse. And on one warm-up routine, I missed the horse so much that I missed it completely. I was upside down in the air just floating. And just missed the stage. There was a big air vent in front of it. I crashed in front of it. Boom! And the whole audience heard it. And everything in the stadium stopped. Wondering if I was hurt or not. And as I got up, me and Kenny Bates, we were just laughing because we was used to seeing me mess up. So we just laughed it off. And first thing I knew, they announced my name. First up, Mike Daniels. So I just laughed it off and lined up. The whole gym was quiet because they knew what happened previously. And I went through and did the vault and scored a 10, perfect score. So that woke me up because I knew at 6th grade what I used to do, but just hearing my name announced just brought things back together. And from that day forth, I never messed up in practice anymore either. But the first tumbling meet at our gym, I was first up. Usually in gymnastics, when you're the first up, that means you're the worst one on the team. So they put me first, and my routine was near perfect. The judges got together and was asking the coach, why'd you put him first? Well, he's the worst guy we had. And it didn't happen. And the season went real well. My time up? Oh. In track and field, things got better. By my senior year, I was #1 sprinter in the 100 meters and the hurdles. And also, for some reason, I could also high jump. I was a 6-foot high jumper, and I'm 5'6". And to this day, I don't see how in the world I did it. But when you look at it, it's a wonder. But when you're in gymnastics and learn different techniques, how to torque your body and so forth, I think that has something to do with it. Right now, they're posting 8 feet, which is about a foot over most of the high jumpers' height. In college, my freshman year, the NAIA Olympic trials, track meet, in the quarterfinals, went through one series, and the second series, I came out front. I usually had a fast start. And I was so far out front, I was wondering where everybody was. Then about the 80-meter mark, here they come. And the guy that beat me, he tied the world record. It was about 20 meters away from the finish line. I saw him coming, but it was too late. I had reached my top speed, and he was still gaining. But his name was Oliver Ford. Tied the world record, pulled a muscle in the next heat. Didn't make the Olympic team, but he went through 4 years of college and finished up his career. So there's different things that can happen to you throughout life. Some positive, some negative, but you just do the best you can. So far as coaching, I started coaching at Mount Healthy High School, and the first 2 years I was coaching at the junior high school level. The athletic director at the time was a former coach at Fairfield High School, and he asked me to coach the girls' track team. I said, let me see if I can teach first. This was my first teaching job. So after the first 2 years, he decided to ask me again, and I coached the team. In the first 2 track meets, they broke every school record. Every school record, 2 track meets. And we went on to the league and the state 4 years straight. Different group of kids, 4 years straight, not the same ones. So that was a pretty good accomplishment. Had a lot of good kids out for the team. 40 girls tried out. So there's inter-competition to help having a team with that amount of strength. Lost my train of thought. After that time, over the years, I started different track clubs, community track clubs in the Butler County area. Some were featured in the Journal News back in the 77 and 80 time period. And throughout the time, we ended up coming back to Hamilton and coached the Big Blue, where I currently coach pole vault. And the first 2 athletes I coached, they ended up breaking the school record in pole vault. And the rest of them are to come to try it. It's a real difficult event. The ones that come and try it do very well. I still compete today, as someone asked, and I'm currently a senior athlete, master's athlete. I'm 70 years old, but I had some injuries and so forth, but I overcame them. Only reason why I still compete is because my first injury I had, I said, once I get well, then I'll stop. But as soon as I get well, something else happened. So I start all over again. Here I am, 70 years old, still trying to get well. But it's a lot of fun. Meet a lot of athletes in your age group that are world class. And they're trying to get to the same place you want to get. And just have fun. And this coming summer in Canada, you have the Senior World Championships. That's the age 35 and over. And I plan on being there this year. And currently right now I'm ranked number number 5 in the world in some track events and top 20 in the world in some track events. Has several national championships. But So if you have any grandfathers or fathers or anyone over 35 that likes track and field, come and join me. It's a lot of fun. And I'd like to thank the committee.
Congratulations, awesome. Next up we have Tom Downey, class of 1965. Tom was a three-sport athlete at Garfield High School, participating in football, basketball, and baseball. He saw success on the football field as a defensive lineman for the Griffins, where he served as team co-captain. He was also named the most efficient defensive lineman, most valuable player, and earned spots on all Greater Ohio League and all Southwest Ohio teams. Tom earned a football scholarship to Northwestern University while earning a degree as a doctor of dental surgery. He was named All Big Ten Scholar Athlete 2 times. Dr. Tom Downey went on to practice dentistry for 46 years, while also teaching as an associate professor of dentistry at Northwestern University for 3 years. Tom and his wife, Coralie, have 2 children, Angela and Cindy, and reside in Northbrook, Illinois. Tom Downey, class of 1965.
Good evening. The first thing I'd like to thank the committee for the nomination. It's a big honor. When I first received the letter, of course, I was humbled, and I was reading through the letter and then discovered that this would occur in February, and I don't want to travel from Chicago in February. So then I read a little further down, and I see we're supposed to say a few words. And I'm going, I really don't want to go. So discussing this, first of all, with my brother-in-law, he called me a sissy for not wanting to travel. So I said, okay. And then my wife, she didn't call me a sissy, but you know how wives are. You're going to do this. Yeah. So you know I'm going to be brief because I didn't want to talk at all. My thoughts were, what am I going to say about what happened 55 years ago? And first thing came to mind is what sports did for me. I think it taught me hard work, discipline, and perseverance. And it served me well in college and professional school and in my profession. So for that, I'm thankful. And then I thought, well, you got to say something else. And it hit me when I saw something about some professional athlete who was a role model. And I guess a lot of us feel these multi-million-dollar athletes are role models. But I never really put much into that. I think role models are the people that mold you as you grow up. You know, your teachers, coaches, your faith teachers. And I was thinking tonight how lucky I am to be sitting at this table with my old line coach, Denis Jones, who's in this Hall of Fame, with my basketball coach, history teacher, and Sunday school coach, Jack Young, and my baseball and football coach, Jim Truitt, and just really experiencing a wonderful evening. So I'm glad I came. And thank you all very much.
I don't know what it was about Tom, but I just wanted to smile real big when I saw him. Next up, we have Steve Fisher, class of 1966. Yes, Steve participated in 3 sports for the Griffins, playing football, basketball, and track and field. During his senior season, Steve played tight end, defensive end, and kicker for a football team. He was first team all Greater Ohio League selection and third team all-state defensive pick. He also led all GOL kickers in scoring. After graduating, Steve served his country as a member of the armed forces, joining the United States Air Force. While enlisted, he was active in military-based athletic teams wherever he was stationed, from New Jersey to Japan or Guam. During his military competition, Steve earned spots in the Pacific All-Star teams for softball, volleyball, and football. Steve also has a deep passion for coaching youth sports, which he did for 25 years. He was also certified swimming official through the Miami Valley Swimming Association. Steve is retired from the United States military and the United States Postal Service, where he worked for 25 years. He currently works part-time at Bass Pro Shop. He is married to his wife, Cynthia Fisher, and together they have 6 children: Colleen Mullins, Wendy Lindbergh, Michael Fisher, Jeff Fisher, Kristen Fields, and Ryan Salter. Steve Fisher, class of 1966.
I hope I can be as quick as Tom was. I'm not a speaker, although my friends say I do BS a lot, but the main thing I'd like to say is thank you for the committee for honoring me with this honor tonight. It's an honor that not many people can say they've achieved. There are 41 members that I have played sports against that are in this Hall of Fame, played with and against. There's tonight there's also Tom played football with me, and Mike was on the track team with me. I'm scared. Special thanks to all my coaches. I had coaches named Jack Young, Lou Florio, Jim Truitt, Aaron Scheckman, Demas Jones, and Dick Hadley. I can remember my senior year, we were playing Taft, and I had to block the safety, Lonnie Gabbard. Some of you guys know Lonnie. I hit him late after the whistle, and every flag on the field hit me in the feet. Coach Florio calls me to the sidelines, and I thought, oh no. I get over there, and he grabs me by the face mask and starts shaking. And he's chewing me out. And the whole time he's chewing me out, he's just shaking me. Well, that was normal back then. I don't think you could get away with that now. I mean, there'd be lawsuits all over the place. But Jim Truitt was my offensive line coach. He was the meanest, strongest man I've ever went against. Jim would have a T-shirt on and shorts. We were full gear. He would demonstrate on us, me specifically. Well, then we'd have a 3-on-3 drill. Well, the 3 guys I had to go against were Alex Davis, Elbert Walker, and Ronnie Green. I was never intimidated by a single player I had to go against after that. Every night of the week, Jim had me go against them. He's what made me the football player I was. Another thing I would like to make mention of is Coach Sharp. He was an inspiration to all of us. Everyone that ever met Coach Sharp, it was an honor. When he talked to you, he looked you right in the eye. You were his son, and Jim, I know it's got to be tough to grow up being Coach Sharp's son. You had a lot to live up to, and from what I understand, you have. My mom and dad, Bob and Mary, never missed an athletic event I played in. My dad was on the Hamilton Fire Department, and on Friday nights, out on the football field, I could look up and I could see the life squad sitting down at the end of the field. I knew Dad was there. Our senior year, we flew to Steubenville, Ohio. It was the first team ever to fly from Hamilton schools. Well, Dad couldn't get off work, so my mom and Jeff Stoltz's mother drove to Steubenville and back that night to watch us play football. That's, you know, showing dedication for your children, or for your kids, excuse me. I'd like to thank my family. Like they said, I have 6 children, 13 grandchildren. My kids are all athletes. They've carried that on with their children, which keeps us quite busy running between Dayton and Cincinnati and Centerville. I have 7 grandchildren live in Huber Heights. Between them, they have played or are still playing basketball, football, soccer, volleyball, wrestling, gymnastics, and track and field. Our oldest granddaughter is a pole vaulter at Eastern Michigan University. Today she pole vaulted at Notre Dame. When she was younger, a couple of years ago, she got to pole vault in Madison Square Gardens. And she's also carrying about a 3.8 grade point average. I have 2 grandchildren that live in Centerville that play girls basketball. I have two grandchildren that swim and play football and basketball in Springboro. And I also have 2 granddaughters that play for Hamilton High Big Blue ladies tennis, which I'm quite proud of, playing for Hamilton High. There's also the Breakfast Boys. We've been doing this 8-10 years, and we settle all the world's problems. Every day, every Wednesday morning, and our waitress calls us a Wednesday morning brew crew. She made us T-shirts, and we all proudly wear our T-shirts. Recently, I've got involved with the Skyline Friday Afternoon Boys. We solved a lot of problems there, too. Cause a lot, but we solve a lot. I spent 12 years in the Air Force where I started coaching youth sports. My first year over in New Jersey, I had a Little League team. I had a little kid come out and told me he was a catcher. I watched him throw the ball, and I thought, this kid's got a lot of talent. Well, he ended up being my catcher, and I didn't teach this kid a thing. His name was Gary Carter. He caught for the Montreal Expos, and he's in the Major League Baseball Hall of Fame now. Like I said, I didn't teach him anything. He had all the tools. But I'm very proud of him for what he's done. In the Air Force, like I said, I played volleyball, I played softball, fast pitch softball, basketball, and football. And I did youth coaching up in Huber Heights. Like I said, 25 years at the post office, enjoyed every bit of it. After retirement, I got a job down here at Bass Pro Shop, and I figured I'd work, a couple years. I'm starting my 17th year there now. It's fun. My younger brother works down there. Actually, sometimes he's my boss. But I get to play an elf at Christmas time. Well, they bill me as the world's largest elf. Again, I'd like to thank the committee for honoring me with this selection. It's an honor to be in the 24th class of the Hamilton City School District Athletic Hall of Fame. It's truly an honor. Thank you very much.
I asked him if they ever call him Buddy the Elf, and he said no. No, they do not. Kim Hibbard Maddon, class of 1988. Kim played both basketball and softball for the Big Blue. She is known for her efforts on the softball field, where she helped lead her team to back-to-back GMC Conference championships in both 1986 and 87. During the 1987 season, Kim hit a game-winning triple in the regional championship that gave the Big Blue a 1-0 victory and sent them to the state Final Four. She was selected as a member of the GMC Conference first team 3 times, 1986, 87, and 88. and was named the team's most valuable player after the 1988 season. She also accumulated a career batting average of .453 while at Big Blue. Kim was inducted in the Butler County Softball Hall of Fame in 2001. Kim is a retired X-ray technician and lives in Hamilton with her husband, Kenny. Together they have 2 children, Carrie Maddon and Katie Maddon. Kim Hibbard Maddon, class of 1988.
Thank you to the committee. Putting on the Big Blue uniform always gave me such pride, and to be recognized for my achievements, it's great an honor, very. Thank you to my family, everybody that's here tonight. You guys all have contributed to my life so much, and I can't thank you enough. My parents, Bill and Karen, a lot of you guys grew up here with my dad. He's also a member of the Hall of Fame. If I can make you guys half as proud as I am to be your daughter, then I consider myself pretty successful. So I don't have much else to say. I'm just overwhelmed. Thank you all so much.
Kim Lakes Barrett, class of 1990. Kim was a 3-sport student athlete at Hamilton High School, where she played soccer, basketball, and ran track and field. On the soccer field, Kim was named her team's most valuable player and was also a member of the GMC first team and also selection to the All Butler County team. Kim also excelled in the classroom, earned a spot on the all-academic team each season, and was presented with the Ohio High School Athletic Association Scholar Athlete Award. Kim also received recognition from former President George Bush Sr. as a recipient of the Presidential Academic Achievement Award for Outstanding Academic Achievement. Kim went on to play Miami University Hamilton, where she played basketball for the Hares until her career was cut short due to injuries. While at Miami, Kim studied the health and sports science, earning an undergraduate degree before obtaining a master's degree in exercise and health physiology. Kim is an avid hiker and aspirations to reach 14,000 feet. She lives in Hamilton and with her husband, Chad, and is a senior director of operations for MedPace. Kim Lakes Barrett, class of 1990.
Like the rest of the inductees tonight, I'm also not a speaker. From the time I received the call alerting me to my induction, it's been a continued reflection on the numerous teachers, countless coaches, teammates, and competitors who helped shape me to who I am today. I was privileged to be challenged, coached, and inspired by some of the best. Thank you to the committee for selecting me for this honor, for those who supported me in my nomination. And congratulations to my fellow inductees. It's quite an honor to be amongst you tonight. I would like to start off first by thanking Robin Michaels. She saw this scrawny little girl with a lot of energy and began shaping her into an athlete. That first Hayes Pierce basketball game launched my love for the sport. I was blessed too to have Judy Kraft as my junior high PE teacher. She too saw a girl with a lot of enthusiasm. She convinced me to try out for my soccer team for the first time in the 8th grade. It was a short lesson in the sport, but she had me playing varsity that next year at tournament time. She not only encouraged me to be an athlete, but she also taught me how to stand up for myself and to never back down. Having someone in your corner means a great deal. She made a lot to me. Thank you to Mike Schuler, sorry. It's all really hard. Thank you to Mike Schuler, Mo Flagg, and Ron Spurlock, who taught me how to direct play on the field and the court. They taught me leadership skills I still use today. They taught me how to work with others to achieve common goals, and they also taught me how to use each person's strength to our best advantage. For them, it wasn't about the basket, the goal, or the win, but it was about life skills, and I still use them today. Also to Melissa Sizemore Sprague, who gave me so much inspiration, who supported my ambition both on and off the field. And she also pushed me harder than I thought was possible. But she also never stopped believing in me. And again, that was somebody very special to me. And to John Ross, JR, who picked me up, patched me back together, time and time again. But he also taught me that I needed to take this love of sport and do something with it beyond just sports. He taught my first physiology class. That class led to my master's in science and exercise science, to working in cardiac rehab, and now to 20 years in pharmaceutical research. I'm forever grateful. To my mom and dad, this is gonna get worse, who are still the best cheerleaders in my life. They never missed a game, from that first basketball game to the last in college. They sat through rain and snow, sat on some of the hardest bleachers, and endured the stress of closely matched games. They also watched with anxiousness through all the bruises, injuries, and concussions. Through ups and downs, wins and losses, they've always been there to lift me up and encourage me. You led me to be successful both on and off the field. Thank you for your sacrifices and love. And finally, to my husband, Chad, who continues this life journey with me, helping me to achieve my dreams, who enjoys hiking along with me, and encouraged me to climb the next mountain. And just like a team, we're in it together. Thank you to all those that I haven't had a chance to mention tonight that have helped me along the way. And once again, thank you for this honor.
Phillip Keith, Manley, class of 2008. Phillip Keith was a notable football player for the Big Blue, where he anchored the offensive line. He also participated in basketball as well as track and field. His football accolades included a 2-time selection to the Greater Miami Conference first team and 2-time selection to the All Butler County first team, and an honorable mention selection to All Southwest Ohio team. Coming out of high school, Phillip Keith was ranked number 56 guard in the nation by ESPN.com, and the 63rd best player in the state of Ohio High School Magazine. He continued his football career with the Toledo Rockets, where he also earned a degree in business management. Phillip Keith played for 3 different NFL teams, including the Atlanta Falcons, the Dallas Cowboys, and the Carolina Panthers, before joining the American Football League, where he played for the Cleveland Gladiators and the Philadelphia Soul. During the 2018-19 season, Phillip Keith was selected to the All-Arena second team. Phillip Keith resides in Hamilton with his partner Emily and has 2 children, PK Manley Jr. and Cade Manley. Phillip Keith Manley, class of 2008.
Thank you. It's an honor. First off, I want to thank the man above. God, without him, none of this is possible. Second off, I want to thank my family, Phillip Manley and Annette Manley, for being there, motivating me, pushing me, instilling hard work and just making sure that everything is, working the right way. Growing up in Hamilton is hard. Most people know that. You don't have a lot of resources. You just, stick to your friends and learn how to grow. Coming out of here, you realize that hard work will take you where you want to go. My parents, especially my dad, waking up in the morning, going to work out, going to different places, going there, going here, and just experiencing different things from him just, really helped mold me and changed me to the man I am today. Really don't have much to say. I just really want to thank Coach Dole for, giving me the opportunity to play. I wasn't always the best, still not the best. Wasn't the biggest, wasn't the strongest. Me and the Nikos had numerous battles. I used to say he cheated a lot, but he was just he was just good. The Nikos was a really good player. From Aaron Bailey being there, helping me learn, just watching him grow, watching him do track and play basketball, him being an older figure, just really instilled hard work into it. His dad, Jimmy, used to have him out on the track, pretty much him and his brother out on the track every day running and going hard. And my parents, seeing that and really wanted us to really follow that suit. Me and my sister used to wake up pretty much every day around like 5 or 6 in the morning and go in the basement and try to work out and do little things like that. And, it's just, I just want to give thanks to my family, to everybody in attendance today, the committee. Thank you for giving us the opportunity to come up here and speak to people and give back. Thank you.
Outstanding. Greg Pettit, class of 1979. Greg participated in both football and baseball for Taft. He was a notable force for the Tigers on the football field where he played offensive line. Greg was selected as a member of the All-Greater Miami Conference team 2 times and would also earn spots on the All-District team and All-Golden Triangle team. He went on to play at Kent State University and Eastern Kentucky University. Greg returned to the football field as a coach where he coached for several local high schools. In 1986, he was named the head coach of Preble Shawnee, and he was the youngest head coach in the state of Ohio at that time. He was selected as the head coach of the Ohio South All-Stars in 1992 and was a member of the coaching staff at Patrick Henry High School in 2005 when they were crowned Division V state champions. Greg enjoyed a career as a high school principal and a school district superintendent for over 25 years. He's retired and lives in Hamilton with his wife, Fawn, and together they have 3 children, Kayla, Cody, and Colt. Greg Pettit, class of 1979. I think you might have one of the longer walks tonight, my friend.
Thank you very much. As I was trying to prepare for this speech, I was trying to think of the last time that I was recognized by Hamilton City Schools, and I had to go back to class night, 1979. That's the night right before your prom where they pass out the superlative awards like most likely to succeed and things like that. And I got an award that night, and it's a true story. I was awarded the prettiest hair award. So true story. Ask my wife. Anyway, it's a real blessing from God to be up here tonight. I give God all the glory. I want to thank the Hall of Fame committee for this honor. They do a great job. I want to acknowledge the great things that are going on in Hamilton City Schools. I know that the superintendent, the assistant superintendent, the principals, administrators are here tonight, board members, staff, teachers, and students. They're doing a great job. I'm really proud of this town and the job they're doing. Athletics, Tyler Blue, great. And how about that football team this year? Coach Nate Mahan in the playoffs this year. All right. Got bigger things to come, I know we do. I want to thank my family for being here tonight. My wife, Fawn, my daughter, Kayla, my son, Cody, and his fiancee, Megan, my son, Colt, all three of my kids were a lot better athletes than me. I tell you, they were pretty good. My brother Mike, you don't know Mike, Bulldog, Pettit, his wife Chris. My sister, both my sisters are here. Sister Sue and Sister Peggy came in from Florida. And Sue's daughter, Molly, is here tonight. My brother-in-law, Greg Spurlock. So I love my family, and thank you for being here. I also have some good buddies that are here tonight. We've stayed pretty close for a long time, and I really appreciate them being here. We kind of call them the Chatterbox guys. You know, we used to hang out at the Chatterbox when we were 15. I mean, when we were 18. And those guys, we've stayed real close all these years. Jerry Lauer, Greg Spurlock, Jimmy Vogel, Rich Matthews, Terry Spivey was here earlier tonight. Great friends. We love those guys. A couple other people here that are real special to me tonight. One, I got to see Coach Jim Truitt. Coach Truitt was a great football coach in Hamilton. Thanks, Coach. Coach Terry Mers and his wife, Kathy. Coach Mers was real special to me. I wouldn't be here tonight if it wasn't for him. He taught me how to play offensive line. Great coach. You know, I've had some pretty good coaches over the years. When I went to Kent State, I had Ron Blackledge as a coach who went on to coach the Pittsburgh Steelers offensive line. And when I went to Eastern Kentucky, the legendary Roy Kidd. But none of them stacked up to Coach Mers. One of the greatest coaches that ever came out of Butler County, without question. Coach, he would demand the best out of you. He'd always get my best effort. He loved us on and off the field. You know, he'd have us down to Coach's office, and he turned us on the famous recipe, liver and gizzards, at lunch. And I've liked it ever since. Whether it was that or whether it was before the game, him listening to my favorite band, the Allman Brothers Band. That was a big thing with Coach. He always listened to them before game. And so Coach is just, again, one of the best in Butler County ever. And root hog or die, Coach. Coach Bob Muschetti was our head coach. I would not be up here if it weren't for Coach. I invited his wife, Carol, tonight. She was ill, but his daughter, Lisa's here tonight, and Lisa's family is with him. Coach Muschetti is a Hall of Fame coach. He did so much for kids as far as giving them direction in life and giving them direction as far as, you know, you're going to go to college and you're going to go get a degree and you're going to finish college and things like that. And it all because of hard work. And I know he's looking down from heaven on us tonight. And he's, so I better get this right because he always demanded the best out of you. So, Coach, I'm going to give you my best. You know, we live today in a trophy, everybody gets a trophy generation, okay? Well, I'm going to tell you something. That wasn't how it was back in the day. You know, Coach Muschetti believed and preached hard work, and it believed that it will pay off if you work, but nothing's going to be given to you. And I got a story, and then I'll sit down. I was a sophomore at Taft High School in 1976, and I wasn't a real good football player. Matter of fact, I didn't even start. On and off, I'd start for the JV team. It wasn't very good. And so the second game of the season, you know, they dressed all the players for the game, sophomores through seniors. And I think we had 76 players that dressed out, okay? So we had parents' night, the second game of the season. And after we warmed up, we came back inside. Coach Muschetti had a surprise for us. He had us all brand new jerseys. I mean, they were sweet. They were nice looking jerseys. And so we're lined up the equipment room, and everybody's coming back holding up their jerseys all fired up. And I was number 58, okay? So I get up there. Of course, the sophomores have to go last, you know, because that's just the way it was, and especially the guys that didn't play, like me. So we get up to get our jerseys, and they hand me this old ragged number 57 jersey. Just an old ragged thing. I said, well, whoever it was that was handing them out, I can't really remember right now, but said, well, I'm number 58. And that person says, well, that's all we got tonight. So I turned around, and I walked back to the locker room, put my jersey on, and I'm the only one with this ragged old jersey on. Everybody else got brand new jerseys. And I felt bad, as you can imagine. I was embarrassed. I didn't know why this was going on. The only thing I could think of was I was the worst player on the team. And so we go down to the field. We get lined up with our parents, okay? And so I'm sitting there. Obviously, my mom and dad are looking at me. They know I'm upset. I'm about ready to cry, and because I was embarrassed. And now, I'm going to stop right there for just a second. I was a principal and superintendent for 20-some-odd years, and these days, as the administrators would know, I would have parents coming into me complaining, why doesn't my son have a nice jersey? You know, I'm not going to put up with that. You're not going to do that to my son, blah, 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 right? That's what I would hear as a principal, okay? It's not the way it was back then. My dad looked at me and he says, I guess you better work a little harder. And boy, I was mad. And you know what? And he was right. He was right. And I'll tell you, that night sparked me because the next morning, we had an off day. I went over and I said to myself, I'm never going to wear a ragged jersey again. I went over to my buddy Jerry Lauer's house, backyard, picked up a couple bricks. You could always find bricks in the Lauer's backyard, okay? And I started running up Eaton Road Hill with these bricks every day. And I started training, and I started lifting because I was never going to wear a ragged jersey ever again. So fast forward about 6 months later, and I get called down to Coach Moschetti's office. It's about April or May. And I've been working pretty hard. I grew about 3 inches, and I put on about 25 pounds of muscle, and I was getting better. And Coach Moschetti brought me into the office, and he said the words that changed my life. He said, have you thought about where you're going to go to college and get a degree and play football? And at that point, I'd never really thought about that. But from that point on, I knew what I was going to do. And so 2 years later, I signed a scholarship at Kent State. I go to camp at Kent State, and the first day of camp, when they pass out the practice jerseys, they handed me an old ragged number 57 jersey. True story. And I started laughing. And the equipment man said, what are you laughing about? He thought I was, making fun of it. I said, that's the most beautiful jersey I've ever seen. And he thought I was kidding. But man, I wasn't kidding, because that thing was beautiful. It was beautiful. Now, so as I go on here, so the message in this, and it's coaches, and the coaches preach this to your players. Parents preach it to your kids. Grandparents preach it to your grandkids. And that is, you're not entitled. You're not entitled. Suck it up. When something goes wrong in life, work a little harder. And put God first place in your life, and everything's going to work out. I'm up here tonight because of Coach Moschetti, because of the good Lord above. I'm up here because of Coach Mers, my teammates, my parents, and all the coaches I've ever had is the reason I'm up here tonight. And most of all, I'm up here because of whoever made that decision back in Taft to give me that old ragged jersey that night. So thank you very much.
That was a great speech. Outstanding. Thank you. Last but not least, tonight we have Christie Smith, class of 1986. Christie participated in basketball for the Big Blue. She was a leader on the court under head coach and fellow Hall of Famer Pat Sword, while playing alongside fellow Hall of Famer members Linda Milholland and Shauna Bowman. During her 3-year career at Big Blue, she tallied 748 points and 613 rebounds. She earned a spot on the GMC first team and also District 15 first team. Golden Triangle second team, and was also recognized with the Cincinnati Post All-Metro Team Award. During her career, she helped lead Hamilton High to a Greater Miami Conference second place finish, a co-championship, and a district runner-up finish. In addition, Christie was chosen to participate as a member of the international team representing Ohio, where she played overseas in Hong Kong, China. Christie resides in Hamilton and is employed by Mercy Hospital Fairfield as a transport and environmental specialist. Christie Smith, class of 1986.
Everybody. I want to thank God first and foremost for the blessing to be up receiving this great honor. And I wish my parents was here and my 2 sisters to see their baby girl get this honor. Thank my family and friends out here tonight to come and support me. I love y'all, truly. And Hamilton High and the Hall of Fame committee, and for the great weekend I done had. Thanks to all the ladies in the class of 83, 84 that had a positive impact on my game to make me a better player and a person. To all the coaches along the way in my basketball days, Mr. and Mrs. Allen, Mr. Churchman, Miss Kraft, Miss Sword, for them believing in me and pushing me to the greatness in my days. All the teachers that passed me along the way, through class, and to thank Hamilton and the way to keep it making Hamilton great. Thank you, Hamilton Big Blue.
Hey, one more time, let's give a round of applause for our 2020 Hall of Fame class. On behalf of the Hamilton City School District, on behalf of the Hamilton Athletic Department, Tyler Blue, the committee, all the administrators here, thank you so much for investing in Hamilton City Schools. Thank you for believing in our community. Thank you for the heritage, to all the athletes that are here, that are a part of this program, that are investing at any level. Trust me when I say this is a city worth investing in. And I truly believe from the bottom of my heart that greater days are even yet to come. And if you believe that, will you join me one more time with a round of applause and stand to your feet as we wrap up our time tonight? God bless you, and thank you for being here this evening.